Hey, this is Erica Sprague with Lane Realty, and today I'm here with Nam Nguyen at Old Republic Title. Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for meeting with me. We wanted to talk to you, home buyers and sellers, about what the title company does in your transaction and the role they play. So Nam, what does a title company do in the real estate transaction?
Well, the title company does is they look up the property to make sure that they're the rightful owner to be able to sell the property to the buyer. And of course, we look up the history of the property. So if there's no unpaid taxes, there's no liens on the property, and of course, there's no forgeries that people are trying to own it. And of course, we do a T47, so make sure the survey is correct. So there's no easements or encroachments that we should be aware about of the new buyer. And of course, we file the new deed to the county, so you're the new owner and nobody else is basically processing and to show that nobody else is owning the home but you.
Okay, so basically you make sure that everything's legit. So we know we've got the right owner, we know that there's no back taxes, no liens on the property, and that the transfer of the property is gonna go
Smoothly.
well.
Exactly.
Okay, so now whenever we close on a property, there's a title policy.
Yes.
And so there's a title policy that the title company issues, as well as if the buyer's getting financing, there's a title policy there.
Exactly.
And so for the title company, what does your title policy cover?
So the title policy covers for anybody who wants to steal your property. So if say somebody, John, comes around and say like, hey, this property should be mine, and then because we did our history of looking up who the rightful owner is and when we filed the new deed and you are the rightful owner, we make sure that this John guy comes in and doesn't steal your property. So that covers the title policy. And also it's a one-time charge that you pay at closing. It's not like regular car insurance you pay monthly. It's a one-time charge throughout the lifetime of the ownership of the new buyer. And of course it changes with the new buyer once you sell it.
Yay, okay, all right. Okay, so the title policy is going to make sure that no one else can just assume ownership of your property.
Yes.
All right. And now, what if you're buying a property in an HOA? Do you have anything to do with the HOA?
Yeah, so of course we look up HOA to make sure there's any HOA restrictions that you know about, and then there's a HOA transfer fee that everyone pays because it's the new HOA, and then you're just aware of like what the cost is and what's included.
Okay, and that there's no HOA liens or fines or anything like that, or
No,
past due balance?
There's like mechanical liens people can put on and say if you did something, construction work at your house and then you didn't pay somebody, they could put a mechanical lien on it. But those are the things that we look up. So any type of those type of liens that you have, make sure that you don't have it when you purchase the new home.
Okay, awesome. So now, do you have to have a title company do your paperwork?
Yes, we all tell people you should, because we are the person between both buyer and seller, and then so you don't want anything to happen during this transaction of, say, if you're buying it straight from a seller or straight from a buyer, so we can hold all the funds for the escrow fees and make sure you get earnest money, make sure option period funds are getting paid, things like that, so you have like a middleman for the transaction.
Okay, and so that's important even for people who are doing a for sale by owner, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they want to take their paperwork to a title company to make sure they have everything in order.
Yeah, it's just like what we talked about earlier, to make sure that there's no liens or people are fraudulently trying to purchase a home or sell a home or even land. So we want to make sure that you get all your boxes checked off when you purchase the home.
Okay, perfect. And do you have attorneys that work for you?
Yes, real estate attorneys sometimes write up documents certain situations. So if you need ever transfer a deed, you need a real estate attorney. So we already have that in our office. So we work with like 1 to 2 of them. So that we trust, that have done a lot of business with us in the past.
Okay, and if you were to say what sets Old Republic Title apart from the other title companies in the area, what would you say?
It comes down to the little things. I know everything's government regulated, so it comes down to the little things like open communication, make sure that we're talking about our sellers, clients, and then the agents, following up on everything that's going on during the whole transaction, and make sure that we get to your closing date that you want. You always want to make sure that we have that communication back and forth and make sure that you're happy with the situation. And then lastly, of course, coming in closing and seeing the brand new office that you've never been to, and we have all the snacks and all the drinks, and then we just like to celebrate your purchase of the home or even sell the home. So
okay, awesome. And are all the fees the same for every title company?
Yeah, everything's pretty much same. Maybe different is maybe mobile notary that some people charge, some people don't charge. So things like that. But everything else is usually government regulated.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing some insight into what a title company does and how they help people in a real estate transaction.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
Yeah.